Good evening, I'm Aaron Wright.
And I'm Deborah Knapp. The verdict is in tonight in the fight over when schools will reopen in Bexar County.
Local school boards will decide when to start classes in person. A battle has been waging all week long between local and state officials over who gets to make that decision.
A local public health directive said Bexar County schools could not reopen before Labor Day. But earlier today, the governor and other state leaders said school boards do not have to follow such directives. Tonight, I spoke with the governor about the confusion that's been swirling all week.
Clarity has been needed. It was clarity that was delivered today by me, the lieutenant governor, the speaker.
Let's go live to Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos.
Henry, you spoke with San Antonio's mayor tonight. Does he agree things are cleared up now?
Deborah, Aaron, simply put, the mayor says not really. Mayor Ron Nirenberg says the guidance from the local health authority all along has been about data and science, and that their guidance remains. Well, tonight the city also says it has legal grounds to fight the governor's directive, but it won't.
Are you saying we can still stop them from opening the schools?
Yes, actually, under the law, we could take this to the MAD, but we're not.
A fight between the city and state, caught in the middle, schools. With so many mixed messages about schools reopening, who has the final say?
The local school boards, the local school districts that make decisions about when to open up schools, how to open up schools.
Our KENS 5 anchor Deborah Knapp interviewing Governor Greg Abbott about his statement he issued today. The governor stands by the Attorney General, and Abbott clarified local public health officials have the authority to shut down schools, but only if there's coronavirus on campus.
The law in the state of Texas is local public health officials do not have the authority to issue a preemptive declaration 3 months in advance of when a school may open up, saying that a school cannot open up. And that is, in essence, what the local public health authority is doing.
On July 17th, the San Antonio Metro Health Medical Director issued a directive saying schools in Bexar County could not meet in person until after Labor Day. But now, throw that order out the window. The school board gets to decide.
If the political bodies of those school districts, which have been seemingly empowered by the governor, decide to open schools in defiance of everything we know about this medical issue, then, that's obviously a problem, but it's not something that we're going to be able to prevent, unfortunately.
It's not a good idea right now, where we are in Bexar County's numbers, to reopen schools.
So, Henry, can school boards simply ignore what Metro Health says?
Well, they technically could, Deborah, but the governor hopes that school districts will take into account what the public health authority has to say, as well as parents and teachers. And tonight, the mayor also hopes that school boards will listen to Metro Health. We're live downtown tonight. Henry Ramos, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.